I'm standing up for humanity by giving lots of love and lots of hugs.
Please take action. Do something to help other people in this world. We live with abundance here in the United States, and we need to share with others. So stand up for humanity in any way you can, any action you can, big or small.
Good morning. Turn to someone and tell them, trust the process. Trust the process. Everything is working itself out. The mark of success is already upon us. So we're just unfolding and growing. And we're trusting the process. And it is a process sometimes, is it not? It is a process, sure. When I was in ministerial school, we used to talk about the hidden agenda. Because we used to think we're coming to school to learn this and to, have this experience. But underneath there was a totally different thing happening. It was the hidden agenda that the universe was trying to move us through and help us to understand and to grow through and to go through. You see, while we were thinking this is what it was happening out here, and underneath that hidden agenda was hitting us upside the head. No, I thought I wanted to learn about this. No, you're going to learn about this. And it's powerful. It's process. It's a process, right? And think about this morning. I was going to ask you, well, how has your day been thus far? Has it unfolded according to what you envisioned or you internalized or intended for it to be? Or maybe it's still early and you haven't even taken the time to start the day off with envisioning, right? Or with claiming what you want and what you need and what you desire of this day and from this day. Because if we're kind of honest, we might think that most of the time we just jump up and jump into the day, right? We jump up and we jump into the day. We haven't really sat down and intended or written anything or really put out anything of how do we intend the day? What is our desire for this experience, for this new budding opportunity? What's my intention? What's my envision for? We just jump up and jump in, right? And we jump in until something else jumps up and takes over, takes up space, in our mind, or takes our time, or takes our focus, or takes our attention in our internal world, and then we begin to move in that direction, right? We're going along with our routine until something else happens. And then when something else happens, it gets our attention, and now we're over here taking care of this thing, which, again, it's okay. It's not a bad thing, because I believe that we have to be good at doing both things. We have to be good at envisioning and setting our intentions, or claiming our good, or holding in consciousness whatever it is that we want. We must be able to do that while at the very same time being open and flexible and pliable, right? And willing to just go with the flow. You've got to be able to do both. And this is the thing. You'll know that you are free. That's what the series we've been working on. So you'll know that you are free when you can successfully navigate and engage in this sacred dance of life, or the sacred dance of balance. Of being able to do both. Holding the intention, focusing like a laser beam on what it is you desire and you want, and at the same time being so open and so flexible that you can go with the flow. Now, they may seem like they're opposites, and how can I do both? But it is possible. One of the blessed things that I think about our spiritual nature is that we are co-creators with the divine. That we have been created not only with the mark of success upon us because the Spirit of God is within us, but we are also created to be co-creators with the divine. As we know that through the power of our thoughts, the power of our words, the power of our intentions, that we can manifest or bring into manifestation our desires. But we bring them into manifestation according to our faith. That's one of the ways. According to our faith. We have the power through our thoughts, our words, our intentions, our perceptions, our ability to vision. We bring that thing into manifestation according to our faith. Now, because that's what Jesus said, let it be done unto you according to your what? Your faith. He said your faith has made you whole. So it has something to do, and we consider faith as your perceiving power of the mind, your ability to perceive, to see, to envision, to see the invisible, right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and it's the evidence of things what? Not seen. So you have to have an ability to envision in your spirit, in your mind, in your consciousness, that which is unseen. But you see it where? In your spirit. And so you bring things into manifestation and being according to your faith, your ability to perceive, to image that which is unseen, to lay hold of that divine presence and idea as a divine idea and bring it into manifestation. And so we have this ability, and we have this ability to focus our minds on what we're holding in consciousness. We have the ability, we can bring things into manifestation according to our ability to focus our minds on what we are holding in consciousness and to focus without doubt, without fear, without mental weakness. So you got to have two things. You got to have faith and focus, right? Faith to see what is unseen, and then the ability to hold that image in your consciousness without doubt. Because most of us could have a passing thought, a desire. Oh yeah, that looks good. I want that. And we might even get an affirmation or two. But it's the holding of it in consciousness where we perhaps get a little weak. So manifestation is going to take your faith and your ability to focus. Say faith and focus. Faith and focus, because that's the thing. You've got to be able to see it, but you've got to be able to hold it in consciousness in order for it to gain the substance of God so that it can manifest. So in other words, the strength of your ability to manifest is connected to your ability to align your thoughts and your feelings and your words with the vibrational frequency upon which they reside as a divine idea. Now, I'm going to say that again because you got to be able to catch that. That's where I wrote in my note, SES. I like that one. The strength of your ability to manifest. We all want to manifest, correct? Well, the strength of your ability to manifest is connected to your ability to align your thoughts, feelings, words with the vibrational energy and frequency upon which they reside as a divine idea. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. Because every thought has a divine idea that's connected to it. And here, I can say it this way, that the strength of your ability to manifest will be according to your ability to tap into the God frequency within you. Every idea carries a vibration, an energy. Every thought carries what? A vibration and an energy. And if we want to manifest these higher thoughts, you've got to get in tune and aligned with the vibration that thought resides upon. And if it's not the thought, then get into and tap into the God frequency, which creates every divine idea. But to tap into the God frequency that resides within you. I saw this quote yesterday, and it said, God is a frequency that exists within you. Tune in. God is a frequency that exists within you. Tune in. And I love that because so often, we think that God is some man up in the sky. But God is a frequency. God is an energy. God is a vibration. It is a spiritual presence. It is the creative force that moves all things into being. It's the energy of spirit. It is spirit itself. Not a being. Jesus said this, that God was what? A spirit. And they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. So we've got to get in touch with the spiritual vibration, the God frequency that exists within us. And we've got to do what? Tune in. Tune in. Because the frequency is there. Everything, as I said, carries a frequency or a vibrational energy. Every thought, every feeling, every attitude. And even we carry that. And we are always broadcasting our frequency. We are broadcasting the energy that we're carrying around. We're broadcasting the nature of our consciousness with our very being. We may not think that we are, but we are. Because who we are goes before us as a vibration. And people pick it up. Have you ever been around people where they didn't have to say a word to you, but you were picking up? There's some energy over here, right? Or haven't you broadcasted your feelings without your words, right? I want you to know that I am upset, so I'm either going to maybe do it through my vision. I might even give you a visual, right? I might do something that's going to give you a clue. But even if I said nothing, when I'm in that vibration of who I am and what's really going on, it just comes out. Because everything is a vibration. And we are always broadcasting. So we need to look at how are we tapping in to the God frequency and vibration. And what am I broadcasting with my life and with my being, right? Think of how powerful and how beautiful your life could be when you tune into the God frequency within you, right? How beautiful could that be? And when you tune into the energy of the divine idea that you want to manifest, that you can actually tune into that, to that creative vibration of that thought, that divine idea. See, you can match the vibration of the divine idea of health, and guess what will happen? Healing takes place. When you match your vibration with the divine idea and the vibration that is contained within the divine idea of health, healing can take place. When you can match and tap into and get onto that frequency of the thought of abundance, of the divine idea of abundance, guess what? Prosperity can manifest. When you can get on that frequency of oneness, the collective oneness of life, then all of a sudden what can manifest is harmony in your relationships, cohesiveness. See, so whatever it is, if we can tap the vibration, the energy or the vibrational energy of that thought, we can bring it into manifestation. And it's not by, magic. It's that we are syncing up and linking up with the vibration of that thought, because everything carries a vibration, even thoughts and feelings and energy. So the point I'm trying to make is that we want to cultivate and develop a habit or the practice of setting our intentions, of affirming our desires, envisioning what we want to happen in our lives, and then holding them until there is a quickening match, a quickening of vibrational energy. See, and we don't talk a lot about quickening, but remember the woman who wanted to be healed, and she said, if I could just touch that hem. She matched that vibration. Her faith matched that vibration, and there was a quickening. And through that quickening, not only was the quickening happening in her, but Jesus, as the Christ, knew that there was an energy exchange. He said, ooh, who touched me? Right? And it was a crowd of people. But he felt that energy exchange happening. He said, who touched me? And she was ashamed, but finally she admitted it was me. He said, "Oh, woman, your faith has made you well." Now, in that tradition, he could have said, "Off with you, your head," because she touched him. And she touched him when a woman was not supposed to, in those days, touch a man or be even present because of what was happening in her body and what she was going through with her issue of blood. It was forbidden for her to even touch him. She was like, "I got to get this. I'm going to match this vibration." And he was like, "Woo!" And then he said, "You know what? Your faith has made you well, made you whole," because she was able to, he didn't have anything to do with it. She matched that vibration. Her faith said, if I could just touch that hem of his garment, if I could just do that, then I know I'm going to be healed. She was already synced up and linked up with the vibrational energy of healing. You get that? So this is what this is about. We want to have the quickening, and we want to have this God frequency, to be able to touch the God frequency that exists within us, and to do it in a way so that it becomes natural. It's not, it becomes a natural thing. That if I know I need something, I just need to get to the vibrational energy of that thing. Very often, sometimes people will ask me to pray, but I'll pray and I'll touch the vibrational energy, but that person is not able to get there. They ask me to pray, but at the very same time, they don't believe that it will happen. I have a good friend who's always saying, "Yeah, can you do that?" But she doesn't believe that it can be done. Right? So I say, I can't do, I can't work with you. You go and do your thing. Now, I know God can do it, but that vibration, I don't want to fight with the vibration that says it can't be done. I won't work with the vibration where two or more are gathered, where we can touch and agree. I'm going to touch with you, I'm going to agree with you, you agree with me, bam, it's going to be done. But I don't want to say, you asked me to agree and you don't agree, well then fine. Go on and do your thing. I'm looking for those who are willing to match the vibration of God, to touch that frequency. That's what faith is all about, you see. So we have to be able to do that, to be able to match this vibration, to get this quickening energy. Now, all this is needed and all this is wonderful. But while you are maintaining your faith and your focus, say faith and focus. While you are maintaining your faith and focus, that laser focus, I got faith and I got focus, but you still may have to, from time to time, go with the flow. You may still be called to go with the flow because, again, there is a balance between focus and faith and flow and frequency and the flow of it, of holding on and letting go. There's a balance between that. Sometimes life is going to present us with situations where we have to hold on no matter what. You got to keep on keeping on. You have to hold on no matter what. Have you had those experiences? Yes, right? And then sometimes the situation will actually call for us to let go. To let go and to let God. And the key is we've got to know the difference between what is taking place, between that sacred timing. Is it time to do this or is it time to do that? Is it time to hold on or is it time to let go? We have to balance that out. Sometimes life will feel like it's just lifting you up higher and higher, and success is upon you. The mark of success is upon you, and everything you touch is like Midas gold. It unfolds. Everything you need presents itself. It's like you catch every green light. You're driving and everything is green. The path is easy, and you are flowing and going. It's wonderful, right? And then there are times when you catch every red light there is, right? All of a sudden, the journey feels rough. All of a sudden, you feel that you're hampered at every turn. You're trying to get away from here. Maybe I'll turn this way, and you meet more obstacles and more stuff. And okay, I'm going to turn this way, and it's more, not another red light. Oh, my goodness. Right? We have that, and you're left with nothing to do but to trust. When you're in that set, you got to do what? Trust the process. All right? So we will have both of these experiences. But even in the times when we're having the rough road and we're catching all the red lights, even in that process and that timing, God is still at work. God is still at work, and the call is still for us to trust the process. Here's a great quote that I came across, and it says this. It says, "Grapes must be crushed to make wine. Diamonds form under pressure. Olives are pressed to release oil. Seeds grow in darkness." So whenever you feel crushed, under pressure, pressed on, or in darkness, you are in a powerful place of transformation and transmutation. Trust the process, right? Sometimes our greatest challenge will yield the highest blessings. You know, it may not feel like it when you're in the midst of it, but that is the process. And it may feel challenging, but the greatest presence and blessing will come as a result of that challenge. And we have to know and distinguish between, when is it time to push and when we must be surrendered and pull. Because you got to know the difference. Have you ever come across a door and you're pushing upon the door? You're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. You're like, what in the world? You know it. You see people in the store, so you know it's open. And you push it and push it until all of a sudden you look at the sign and it says what? Pull. That's like life. We're pushing when we should be pulling. And sometimes we pull when we need to be what? Pushing. And you'll know that you're free when you begin to know the difference. The sacred timing of when is it time to push and when is it time to pull. I think of like a baby bird, or a little chick. That little chick, in order for it to know life, it has to push through. It has to have a breakthrough. It has to find its strength, because if it doesn't, it's going to remain and die. So it must have a breakthrough. It must use its strength and its energy to push until it has a breakthrough. And we go through the same process in our birthing process, right? We know that somehow there's a struggle. There's a struggle for life. We're struggling to leave the comforts, what feels like or used to feel like a comfortable place to be. And then we've got to push through that. Something is happening that says, no, you've got to push through. So there's a struggle to be released, to be free. And at the same time, the Spirit is pulling us toward our destiny of new life. Mama is pushing. And while she's pushing, we're struggling, and we got to try to push as well to make our way through, right? So that we can be free, so that we can experience more space within our life. The struggle will free you. Sometimes the struggle frees you. And we have to be able to know when that happens. And yet, there are times when the more you struggle, the worse your situation will be. Have you had those too? The more you fight, the worse it goes. And the call is for you to let go and to surrender, to wait upon the Lord, to wait upon the divine. And sometimes the call is act, move now. And you've got to know the difference. Because sometimes the more you struggle, the tighter things get. I was thinking this morning about that toy. I don't know, I'm dating myself. But we used to have this little toy, and I think it was called like a Chinese finger torture. And it was a little thing that you stuck your fingers in, right? And the object was to get your fingers out. And the more you struggled to do it, what would happen? The tighter it got. And you would, right? And you couldn't pull your finger until you got to the place where you could be relaxed and ease. And so the call was not to struggle, but to be relaxed. And the moment you relax, you could get your fingers. And we knew it, but we loved doing that. Right? It's the same thing. What is life asking? Is it time for you to struggle, to push, or is it time for you to let go and be open and to be surrendered, to be easy, to be flexible? And both are called at different times. But we must know what's being asked for of us in the moment, within every circumstance. What is the universe asking? Is it asking you to push? Is it asking you to pull? Is it asking you to hold on? Is it asking of you to let go? And you will know there's a God frequency, that God frequency within you, that is the same frequency that runs the rhythm of the universe. That same frequency is within us. And sometimes we don't hear it. We can't hear or feel the frequency of the God frequency within us because we can't rise above the din of confusion of the world. We can't rise above the cacophony of the world. You know, I love the word cacophony. You know what that is? It's just a bunch of noise. It's supposed to sound good, but it's noise. We got to get beyond the noise and the vibration of the noise of the world to get to that God frequency within us. And we've got to push and get the incessant chatter that takes place in our own minds. To be still so that you can feel. Be still so you can what? Know. You got to be still. And once you get that knowing, once you're able to find the frequency, the God frequency within you, and you begin to tune into it, and you tune into the frequency frequently. Tune into the frequency frequently. And when you begin to do that and you begin to rest in this frequency, you begin to rest in the vibration of God within you, and you do it often and you do it possible, then from that place, from that vibrational place, from that energetic place, from that spiritual realm within you, you begin to co-create. You begin to co-create and operate on an entirely higher level of life. And you know, and see, those who aren't on that frequency aren't going to get it. They don't get what you're doing. You know, they don't get that you're operating on a completely different frequency. I won't say who, but I played cards with a certain individual in the mornings, and we have fun. But I always draw the jokers to me several times. I draw the cards that I need, right? And this individual sometimes is like, how you doing that? Why? You so lucky. You said, I'm operating on a different frequency. The frequency that says, I'm going to get these jokers. I'm going to get the cards that I need. And I do it with time after time after time because I'm operating on a different vibrational level. And when you're on that level, you draw to you what you need. See, while others may be struggling, you can draw to you what you need in that moment. This is how life works. And those who are on the vibration will never see it unless they what? Seek that what? Higher consciousness. Seek a higher vibration. And when you do that, you start operating in grace and in the blessings with ease. I like the phrase grace and ease. That's how I want to live it, with grace and ease. And grace and ease comes when I'm at that higher frequency, when I tap into the God frequency. Now, I know when I'm struggling, wait a minute, struggling, let me see. Is it time for me to struggle, to push through? Is it time for me to let go? And then I kind of get still to see what God is asking of me in that moment, what is needed so that I move with spirit, or I'm still in spirit. Doesn't matter which one, but I want to match the vibration that is being called for. I want to move when the Spirit says move, and I want to be still when the Spirit says be still. This is how we become co-creators, and we operate on a completely different vibrational level. You will know that you are free when you know when it is time to hold on and when it is time to let go, when it is time to push and when it is time to be pulled, when it is time to be determined and when it is time to be destined, right? When it is time to be still and when it is time to move. This is the divine flow, the dance of life. And it becomes beautiful when we trust the process and the rhythm and the flow of life. Because life sometimes is going to say push and sometimes it's going to say pull. And we will know the difference between the two. What is God telling you, asking of you right now in your own life? Get into that vibration. Figure out what the Spirit is trying to do. Is it time for you to move? Is it time for you to be still? Whatever one it is that you find yourself into as you touch this God frequency and you tap the God frequency and you ask then yours is to simply trust the process. If it's time for you to let go, don't struggle anymore. Don't try to make it happen. It's time to let go. And then when you've been so busy letting go and relaxing, whatever, God said, you need to move. I'm placing things before you, but you must choose. You must ask. You must act. You must do. Faith and focus, surrender and openness, flexibility is all a part of the process. Where are you? Where are you? Trust the process. Namaste and blessings. Namaste and blessings. 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 Blessings.